If you're trying to find a lot of high-paying, long-term clients as a freelancer, don't fall into these traps. Pitfall number 1, make sure that you're actually charging enough as a freelancer for a long-term project. I've had long-term projects that lasted like 6 months for $20,000. I've had projects last 6 days for $20,000. So it's not about how long does a contract last, it's how much does it pay and how much of your time and energy is it taking up. Tip number 2 is that you really want to avoid freelance projects that are actually just employment roles without the benefits. If somebody's telling you when to show up, what time to come into a meeting, if they're taking control of your time and then forcing you to do assignments on a weekly basis, they're often misclassifying you as a freelancer, which is illegal. And so you need to make sure that you're not taking on those jobs because that's employment jobs that come with benefits, not freelancing jobs. As a freelancer, you make your own deadlines. You can say yes or no to whatever projects that you want to take on, and you're not locked in with somebody. Like you might have retainers and things like that, but your schedule is flexible and you are working for them on a project by project basis. That is what a freelancer does. And if you want ultimate stability of going to a 9-to-5, go for it, but I still find that freelancing is more reliable than a lot of these full-time jobs. The third thing to be aware of is that you really want to think about the balance between your short-term and long-term clients. I find that having a lot of short-term clients that come back to me and hire me again is more rewarding than steady, long-term, reliable projects. I'll give you an example. If you really want to just work one-on-one with a few people, then you can consider something like being a freelance memoir ghostwriter. I did that for several years, and that was my main source of income as a freelancer, and I really loved it. I actually still do memoirs to this day, and I love working one-on-one with people to help them tell their stories. However, I did find myself getting burnt out when I was only doing memoirs, which is why I added copywriting, and now my focus is copywriting, and then I occasionally ghostwrite memoirs for people. Another bonus about short-term projects is that if you're not really jiving on the project, if they don't really like working with you, you can always dip out. Like at the end of the project, once you've turned in good work, you can move on and not work with that client again. If you're trying to get into a long-term contract, like doing a certain number of blog posts every month, you might end up working for a company that you're just like, oh no, I don't like this company. And you can still dip out because you're a freelancer. So once you've finished up your term or your month or whatever, but it feels like it really kind of locks you in not a good way. But there are plenty of those kinds of content writing jobs out there that are freelance. And so you can definitely find them. And here's how. So getting to your original question, you can find them through platforms like Upwork, Indeed, LinkedIn. All of these platforms have freelance job listings. Another one that I really like is Creatively, and then Contra is on the horizon too with a lot of really great job ops. If you check out my Freelancing 101 guide in my profile, I have a ton of different ways for you to fine-tune your portfolio, fine-tune your cold email, your proposal that you submit on platforms like Upwork. All of that is in my bio to help you get started.